here's the KickApp deck review follow-up. So if you haven't seen the KickApp deck review, go back and see. You can find it on my LinkedIn and on my YouTube. This is the editing portion of it, where I'm going to do a little bit of editing to show a couple of ideas of how you should actually go about it, what will make things a little bit more streamlined, and how to make your decks a little bit more efficient for pitching. Let's start and let's get on with it. Here we go. We're back onto here. I didn't want to do much on that first page. I'm quite happy with that, but let's look at the second page. This is something you're going to say, so get rid of that. And then we start to play around with this. I'm going to speed this up, and then I'll talk to you about why. Okay, this is just an edit. I am not a graphic designer. What I'm looking to suggest is the content and how you present that content. Numbers are important because it backs up those metrics that you're trying to get across to any investors or any of your audience. All I've done is broken this down into 3 main points and 1 bonus point. That's what I was talking about earlier. 60 group messages, 30 individual follow-ups, and 4 days. You can build your storytelling around that. Remember, this is to support you as the presenter, not to give all the information to the investor so they don't have to pay attention to you. That's what I mean by the power of 3. Let's have a quick look at the next slide and let's see if we can organize this and go from there. Okay, so I had a little bit of trouble with this one. What I ended up doing is playing with the imagery, bringing that further into focus. I tried to show areas that it's important for people to look at, because if you put the whole thing on there, people are going to spend time trying to focus on the whole thing. They're going to try and read the whole thing, and that's not, you're not able to do that within 20 seconds, especially when you're trying to listen to somebody else. But if you've got this here as a support for what you're doing, you've got an ability to start to talk through this and utilize it when you're pitching. So I started to build a script that would suggest to go alongside something like this. Now, I don't play football every weekend. I'm not an expert in this area. Jamie is, and he'll know how to build his script alongside this. But this just gives you an idea of how little you actually need on there and how much it should be focused on you. So if it was me and I just introduced the problems here that are going on every single week, but it's not just about who's in and who's out. Team managers need to keep track of a whole host of extras, from who's got bibs and balls to who's paid their fees, last minute dropouts, direction to the pitch, who's getting a lift with who, and where the hell is Des? He was supposed to be here 15 minutes ago. And all that is before you step a foot on the pitch, before a single tactic has been discussed or anyone's performance has been assessed. It is an administrative nightmare, one that we've been looking for an answer to for a long time. And this is where KickApp comes in. I've started to take out a lot of the content, try and rely on the script and the content that you're going to deliver, and not on what is on there within text. Yes, we can utilize these here, but it's not about that. It's about what's on text. So if you're going to take this off, I'm going to, in fact, I've just done the first view here, but you can see the difference between a pitch deck and an investor send deck. What you're trying to do is put minimal information. What do they absolutely need to know from the deck that you can't give them or you can't secure in their mind? That's why we use numbers, is to secure that information in their mind. So if you don't need it there and you can tell them, take it out. And let me know what your thoughts are, whether you think I'm right or wrong. And yeah, let's just keep learning together.